Welcome to day 3 of the High Vibes Reset. So glad you are here. So glad you are making this commitment to yourself and your energy, because everything that you do for you is everything that you're doing for the world. Healing the world is an inside job. So taking time to work on your energy, to clear your energy, to connect your energy, and then today we're going to be replenishing your energy is so important, because what you're doing for you is what you're also doing for the world. When you make these personal commitments, even if no one knows about it, they will feel it in your energy, and that will hold space for others to do the same for themselves. Hopefully by this point, you're starting to see a theme happening as we move through the High Vibes Reset. On day 1, we worked on connecting. We worked on tuning in, recognizing that there is a part of us that is not separate from the universe. And when we do the tuning in practice, we remove that space between us and the universe and recognize that we are one. And from that state, we then moved into day 2 to clear our energy, choosing to release the old stories, the old energies, and clear the cobwebs from our aura so that we can create more space for more radiance. Today is all about replenishing your energy. We're realizing that we are really sensitive beings, and we're constantly picking up energy everywhere we go in our life. We're recognizing that our energy is our choice. And so recognizing that we have a choice in every moment to protect our energy and to look after our energy is so essential on our journey. But before we protect our energy, it's important to fill up our cup until it's overflowing. So when you are going about your day-to-day life and you're doing things and being this person and fulfilling your duties, your energy is draining away. So it's important to come back to your energy and top it up until it's overflowing. The way that we're going to be replenishing our energy in today's lesson is through breath work. The breath is a really unique thing. It's the one thing that allows our body to stay alive, right? And it supports everything else that's happening inside with our major organs. But we don't recognize that our breath is constantly doing things to give us an impression of how we actually feel. For example, if you hear some shocking news, you'll go, and you'll take this deep inhale to get more life force in your body. Or if there's something super heavy on the floor, you might lengthen your breath until you pick it up. You'll do something like, extending your breath, giving yourself more energy to work through that. If you're going through a stressful time, your breath might be shallow and faster, like. Or if you're going through an emotional time, you'll not be able to breathe through the nose, you'll breathe through your mouth. Or if you finally got through that gigantic project that you're working on, you'll go, as a relief, a sigh of relief. So the breath is an expression of our energy, and it's also a clear messenger to us how we actually feel on the inside. So it makes sense to replenish the energy. We work with the breath. And to do breath work, we tune into the techniques that have been shared with us from the ancient yogis. The yogis saw no difference between breath and life force. In fact, they have the same name, and the name is prana. Prana just interprets to vital life force. And the yogis recognized that breath and life force were the same thing. And so if they brought this conscious awareness to the breath and worked with the breath in specific ways, they would create more energy, more life force inside the body. And therefore that would affect their physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And so today I'm going to take you through a number of practices to work with the breath and to use the breath as this healer for your body so that you can replenish your well-being, so that you can top yourself up until you are overflowing. Now, we know just from basic science that's out there that working with the breath, using the breath, and doing breath work can support the balance of the nervous system. It can support this feeling of being less stressed. More oxygen in the body can help the natural flow of the body. And when I say natural flow of the body, what I'm saying is it allows your major organs to do what they do best, keep you alive. So if your body's working, your energy's working. And if your energy's working, that means you're going to feel more positive, more aligned, more connected, less stressed. And if you're operating from that state, it means your vibes are shiny and attracting more opportunities to feel more connected, more abundant, prosperous, healthy, and well. Let's do some breath work together. Welcome to day 3, replenish, of the High Vibes Reset. So thrilled that you are here. Every single day, we're learning another thing to add on to build up our spiritual practice so that we can experience more clarity, project more radiance, and experience more goodness in our life. Today, we're going to be focusing on replenishing your energy, and we're going to unite some of the things we've learned in the last few days so that we can have a more succinct, clear practice. So when you're ready, let's tune in. Bring your palms together at heart center. Tune into something that you are grateful for. And as you tune into what you're grateful for, you create this high vibration around you. You create more reasons for you to be grateful because you create this magnetic energy around you that draws in more blessings. Once you've tuned into gratitude, begin to rub the palms together. Create heat and create warmth. And when you do so, you're also activating both parts of the brain, the creative and the critical, bringing them together as one so that you can enter a state of neutrality, being open to receiving in the surrender of it all. Once you've got that heat and warmth, bring the hands into prayer formation, thumbs in towards the heart, elbows out towards the side, lifting off of the rib cage, sitting nice and tall, but in a way that's not causing strain, and inviting this presence of the inner teacher to stand at the forefront of your heart and mind, inviting this presence of light and love to lead the way in your life and day. The inner teacher is the part of you that is never separate from the divine, the part of you that has never left the heart of the universe. And when you connect with this internal teacher, this inner wisdom, this presence, you remove the space that stands between you and your higher power, and you unite as one. But not only that, you allow that presence to guide the way, like a torch switching on in darkness. It's a presence of intelligence, of love and light that will lead you towards experiences that are abundant, moments of prosperity, and experiences that support your well-being. Thank you, inner teacher, for standing at the forefront of my heart and mind. Thank you for guiding the way in my day and my life. I bow to you. And when you're ready, coming back into this space, and we begin with some aura sweeps. Inhale, hands coming up. Exhale, hands coming down. Inhale, hands coming up. Exhale, hands coming down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. And for whatever reason that might not be comfortable for you, you can just do it on your lap. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Closing the eyes, feeling the energy moving. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. And as you do so, extending your heart through your arms and through your energy, cleaning away any debris, any frustrations, any stagnancy. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale up. Hold the hands overhead. Inhale, hold the breath. And as you exhale, sweep the hands through the aura. Coming back to center and opening the eyes. We're going to begin our practice today with alternative nostril breathing, which is known for its capacity to balance the nervous system. How we begin this breath is by checking which nostril is most open. Because what we're going to do is we're going to close over one nostril, breathing in that nostril, closing it over, and then breathing out the opposite. And what we're doing when we're breathing in alternative nostrils is we're creating this sense of balance, because our nostrils are connected to our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, allowing us to restore a sense of balance between that part of us that is restful and rejuvenating and that part of us that's in fight or flight. When we do this nostril breathing, this alternative nostril breathing, we allow both of those systems to come back to a state of balance. So bringing your fingers under the nostrils, or maybe closing one nostril and closing the opposite, taking a breath in and seeing which nostril is most open. Whatever nostril is most open, that's the nostril that we're going to begin this exercise with. Now, to support you in closing the nostrils over, you're going to create this movement with your hands, or this mudra with your hands. I call it the hang tight mudra. And with the opposite arm, you're going to create this symbol, this Gyan mudra. And the idea is that you will be closing the nostril that is less open with your thumb or your pinky, whatever one it is. Obviously, the closest nostril to finger is what you use. So for me, my left nostril is most open, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. That's all about rest response. It's the part of us when it's in action, we're less stressed. And then if the right nostril is most open, it's the part of us that's in the sympathetic nervous system, which is all about fight, freeze, or flight. It's usually when we're in a stress response. So I'll be closing over the right and I'll be breathing in until I've got a full breath. When I've done so, I'll close over the left nostril and I'll open the right and I'll breathe out the right. Once I've done so, I'll then breathe in the right, close it over with the thumb, and breathing out the left. And that's one cycle. Once we've done that for 1 minute 30 seconds, we'll switch sides. We'll begin with the opposite side, breathing in that side, out the opposite. And at the end, we take a big deep inhale, a big exhale, and hopefully there'll be a sense of balance restored. So I've got my little stopwatch here to keep me right. When you're ready, bring your left hand into Gyan Mudra, this seal of knowledge mudra that you probably know from every photograph of anyone meditating. You're going to sit nice and tall. You're going to cover over the nostril that is less open and begin breathing in the opposite. On you go. Breathing in. Closing that nostril over and breathing out the opposite. Then breathing in the opposite. closing that nostril over and breathing out the nostril you began with. Continue to do so until I tell you to stop. We've got 1 minute remaining. So breathing in, closing the nostril, breathing out the opposite. Breathing in the opposite, closing the nostril. And back to where you started. 30 more seconds. Keep sitting tall, spine lifted. This will be your last breath cycle. Relax the hands down. Deep inhale for the nostrils. Hold the breath. Exhale. Breathe as normal. And now go back in on the other side. Closing the nostril you started with and breathing in the opposite. Closing that nostril and then breathing out the more dominant nostril. Breathing in. Closing the nostril, breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Continue in your own time. This is your final cycle. When you're finished, bring both hands into Gyan Mudra. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And observe how you feel. Continuing with our breath practice, we're now going to do a 4-to-1 breath, which is 4 sniffs in the nostrils and 1 exhale out of the nostrils. And don't worry if you need a snot break right now. If you've got a bit of snot going on, just grab a tissue, get it all out. We're just making more space for more air, more oxygen. And this is how the breath that we're going to do next is going to work, and it's known to support healing and intuition and connection. So it's 4 sharp inhales from the nostrils, 1 deep exhale through the nostrils. And we're going to do that for 90 seconds. Starting now, both hands in Gyan Mudra, the seal of knowledge, sitting nice and tall, and begin. Closing the eyes if that feels good for you, or gaze is down, sitting tall. Making sure those inhales are deep, filling up the belly rather than the throat. So really reaching down with the inhale, filling up the lungs to its full capacity. Inhale is normal. Exhale is normal. And now take 3 minutes in deep breathing. Hands in Gyan Mudra. Gyan means knowledge. Mudra means seal, the seal of knowledge. The forefinger and the thumb are touching. The rest of the fingers are together. Sitting nice and tall and just observing the breath. If the mind wanders, if you have thoughts that come up, do not resist them. Do not fight against them. Just observe them. Thank them for being there. And just return to the awareness of your breath. And with each and every inhale, imagine that you are replenishing your body, replenishing every cell in your body, bringing in vital life force so that your organs can do what they do best, keep you alive. Life is a blessing. Your life is a blessing. Rejoice in your breath. 1 more minute here. Take a deep inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale the breath. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. And observe how you feel. And when you're ready, give thanks for the breath. Give thanks for the body. Give thanks for the practice. Rub the palms together at heart center. Bring them back into prayer formation. Feel grateful for the opportunity to replenish your energy with your breath. It's available to you in every given moment. All you need is the awareness. And we're going to close with 3 Sat Nams. Sat is truth, Nam is essence. Truth is your essence. Inhale to begin. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. When you're ready, open your eyes. The truth in me bows to the truth in you. Sat Nam. Thank you for sharing this time and space with me today. I hope it supports you on your journey to resetting your vibes so that you can live a high vibe life. If you need more, if you want to dive deeper, below this video, you will find corresponding lesson and meditation to support you on your journey. I'll see you tomorrow for day number 4, which is all about protection. See you then.